Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, where we've got a new guest for you every week, somebody important in the community. And this week, it's the guy that runs all the activities over there at Camdenton High School, Lakerland, Mr. Laker himself. It's Dr. Billy Kurtz. Hey, thank you for coming by. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
It's a fun time of the year, right? Students get back in school. It's a new season. Everybody's fired up and excited. And fall sports are kind of fun. Of course, football. Everybody knows about football, but there's a lot more to it than football, right? What else you got going on?
There is. You know, the fall starts in July. The teams are in camps, but, you know, band really kills it starting middle of July all through the month. And then even that dead week that sports have to take right before the fall season, man, band is in here just killing it. They're here the whole time. So it starts real early, but it includes band. It includes all the activities that we've got going on. Of course, we've got volleyball, and boys swim is still relatively new to us, but we don't hear a lot about swim because they're no home facility. You know,
you don't have a pool at the high school.
Right. So they never have a home meet. It's all a ways. They drive up to Lori to swim, and they'll use the city pool in Camdenton. So that's a big one in the fall that we forget about a lot because we don't see them very often. But we got cross country. We got girls tennis. Lots of stuff going on.
Wow. So you are kind of like the guy that herds the cats with all these different things because you kind of schedule them and plan for them and have to do all that stuff. Does it ever get overwhelming trying to keep up with all that stuff?
Always. Yeah. It's the truth is the coaches do all the work. You know, they handle all the teams, all the kids, all the supervision. Our parents know that we keep their kids safe, and it's the coaches that do that. I'm a clerk. A year ago, we worked on this schedule and then made changes for the last 12 months. We're working on winter and spring schedules now. We think they're done, but they're not. We're redoing them. So what gets overwhelming is when an official cancels. Ooh. Or, you know, did we get the school bus requested right and things like that. So it's lots of little things, but the coaches are taking care of that important stuff, those kids. Yeah. And we're working on a couple of tournaments, a couple of big home events coming up in the next couple of weeks that will take some attention.
Ooh, there you go. And there's always something that goes wrong that you have to put out a fire or something. We did a football game recently, and the football team had two buses scheduled. One of them broke down, so they had to pile into one, and then the AC went out. You know, so it was just, and I'm sure that's just kind of a normal thing that happens every once in a while, stuff
Absolutely.
Like that. You know?
Yeah, it is. We had the mic go down this past Friday. Ooh. Great player announcements. And then silence.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, you keep going. It's all right.
That's what you got to do. So people think nothing happens in the summer, right? Because you get old fogies like me where you had a summer vacation from school and you just completely away from. That's kind of changed. You've got a whole lot of stuff going on throughout the summer now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Each sport can have up to 20 contact days. And most sports try to use 20 contact days. So you've got basketball in there, boys and girls basketball both trying to get some time. And they'll get in our gym. Basketball predominantly will go play league somewhere else where other people are willing to gather. Camdenton's a hard place to drive to for schools our size. Nobody wants to drive up here, so we go find them. But of course, you got football in there all the time, and like I mentioned, band is in there all the time. And there's athletes that are in a fall sport, they're in a winter sport, they're in a spring sport. They could be busy 60 different days during the summer. Wow. And that's kind of the reason for the rules, to make sure the kids aren't crazy overwhelmed.
Right. Yeah, and there's a whole lot of scheduling that goes on with that because I'm sure they have to be inside a lot of time to get out of the heat, and you got to schedule who can be inside at what time and all that good stuff. So I'm sure that's a lot of fun. So football gets a lot of the attention in the fall. We talked about it, but you've got a lot of different sports going on, the volleyball and the swimming and stuff like that. But there's activities that aren't necessarily sports that you have to take care of too, right? I guess band would be one of those things.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you have going on in?
Yeah, we've got, we call cheer and dance are both activities.
Okay.
Title IX, we count up, make sure we're treating males and females equally, and you're not allowed to call cheerleaders a balance for that. So those are activities. We've got choir that came in for tryouts over the summer, and a big bel cantos this year. They were working on funding and working on costumes and getting everything set so that they could start some contests this time of year. There's a lot going on. There's pretty much anything you want to be involved in. you can find at Camdenton.
And it's easy to forget all of that because, everybody thinks about the football and, and the basketball and softball, baseball, stuff like that. But there is so much more going on. And you guys have such a huge band program. It's not a little thing. I mean, you don't have, somebody out there with, one trumpet and one flute. It's a big old production you got going on out there.
It really is. 155 members at last count, and they're busy. What I didn't realize until just a couple years ago, that they write their shows for the number of trumpets they have. Not here's a show and fit in.
Yeah.
We get the show written for the number of each type of instrument that we've got. And so it's a complicated thing. I don't understand it. I couldn't do it. It's our first year with a new band director in a lot of years. The Bowers, Paul and Alicia, were amazing. They are amazing in whatever they're doing now. One of those things that just feel like there's no way we can replace this. We are never going to be able to match this intensity. And they've got somebody in, Dominic Zanaboni is doing a great job. Amanda Fall and Mike Finn are still there, and so really we've got a core that's just fantastic, and we are hitting it. I mean, they are just as dynamic. The show is great. We sound wonderful, and it blows my mind that we're able to do that. And it shouldn't, because we lost Tom Martin a couple years ago. He retired, and our speech and debate was so successful. Plaques all over the wall, but we're still going. We're doing it again. So people step into the roles. They do a great job, and these things are happening. Our programs are all right there, where we got Jo Beth Nicholas that's been fantastic for our musical and plays. She's ramped it up to three events this year instead of just spring and fall. She's got one going in the middle. Going to take what we had to do for COVID, just in case people couldn't show up and be on site, and make it a permanent kind of thing without taking away the fall and spring show. So she's asking for more work, and so you can see the same thing in choir. I've talked about how they've been in this summer, but we had Trent Clayton and Sherry Bonacker for years and years and years as our choir folks. Irreplaceable, and we get new people in there. Net Green people know from a long time, and Joe is new to our district, but he's doing a fantastic job, and so we're at the point there where we have people that are about retiring.
Yeah.
A lot of different programs, a lot of different sports, and people just keep stepping up to take our kids to new levels. It's fantastic. It's a great place to be at Camdenton.
Yeah, just keep that tradition going.
That's right.
We are getting updated on what's going on in Lakers land. Camdenton Lakers Activities Director Dr. Billy Kurtz. We'll have more with Dr. Billy right after this.
There's nothing like summer at Lake of the Ozarks, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach is your one-stop shop for your day on the boat and fun in the sun. We feature the lake's largest wine and spirits department, along with our lake-famous beer cave. And you'll want to check out our brand new Summer Fun Center with all your apparel, toys, coolers, inflatables, towables, and so much more. Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, voted the #1 grocery store in Missouri and your one-stop shop for an unforgettable day in the sun all summer long.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the Quick Car Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The Quick Car Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. Quick Car. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Moving to the lake is a lot of work, but not with Sunrise Movers, where we do the hard work for you. For packing up and delivery to your new home, or simply loading and transferring your belongings, Sunrise Movers is the easy choice for your next move. Sunrise Movers packs your possessions extra carefully, shows up on time, and strives for 5-star customer service every time. Sunrise Movers, the official movers of Lake TV. Give us a call today to get a free estimate. Sunrise Movers, where we do the hard work for you. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by Hy-Vee in Osage Beach and Jefferson City. And we're talking with Dr. Billy Kurtz, Activities Director at Camdenton with the Lakers, and so much going on over there. And we were talking before the break about programs that are really successful with leaders that are really great, and then they retire, and then new people come in you kind of weren't expecting, and they keep it going. You have such great tradition at Camdenton in a lot of different things. Football is one of them, and that football tradition just kind of seems to keep going. The wins keep adding up. What is the key to keeping those traditions going like that?
I think the importance is that the traditions are the kids.
Yeah.
It's owned by the athletes. The coaches push them. They want to keep this legacy going, in whatever sport they're in. But what's critical is that it's something that belongs to the kids. They decide which of those things are important from year to year. And frankly, going and listening to the football kids in a huddle, it's not the same things we did when I was in school. And the things we did were the best.
Right.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
But and that's what it is. Whether it's listening to the members of a play cast go through their little traditions right before the play, or play starts, or right after it ends and the curtain drops, or it's listening to the football team after a win or a loss in the locker room. The softball team, they gather, they have a breakdown on their own. They make these things their own, and then when they belong to the kids, it's important. It's meaningful to them, and that's what keeps it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've had to deal with some controversy of late, where there was a report that somebody said your football team couldn't carry a flag out on the field, right? There was a whole big hubbub, and so what all happened with that? Where is that? Has that just kind of died away and gone away, or is that still a thing?
Well, I think that kind of thing is going to be big for as long as it's big for whoever it's big for. I don't think there's a single one of our athletes that ever thought that we were going to keep them from carrying a flag, whether it's our purple flag or the United States flag on the field. There's never been a rule like that at Misha or at Camdenton. In that report, you could tell that report was someone being, got a little grandiose, got a little big, because of course there's never a Misha official at our games. They might come and watch the officials sometimes, but Misha never comes to ball games and tells local schools how to do things. So,
right.
That's perfectly normal. Kids should be able to go home and tell their parents, I jumped 15 feet in the air, almost dunked it. It was a great play. Oh, but I didn't get to play because, and whatever. And this is something that parents do for kids. So there's no reason to jump and be crazy about every little thing you say has to be perfect. Absolutely, there was kids playing around in a parking lot. I told them to get out of the parking lot. The words came from me, and there's nobody that has anything to do with Camden who thinks that I would tell kids they couldn't have a flag, much less carry it on the field at the game. But people have a right to be as loud and crazy as they want about what they think, and they're not thinking they're being loud and crazy. They think they're doing something for their kids. But I don't think there's any athletes or parents on the football team or anywhere else that would think they would need to go somewhere else to get a question answered. If they were concerned about something like that, they'd call me. They do call me when they're looking at grades, when they're looking at whether or not their kids can play. So I feel comfortable that our parents know they can go to the coach when there's a problem. They can come to me if they don't get satisfaction with the coach. Most of our athletes know they're going to do it. They're going to go to the coach and talk about playing time or something that was said on the sidelines, or even an event that becomes big like this. They're going to go talk to their coach first,
right,
and then and follow that. So it's not something that hopefully will distract from the football games anymore. Hopefully the kids and the community know that we're there for a football game,
right,
and that's the thing we put our focus on.
Well, and I think the bottom line is people were wondering, why can you not carry an American flag on the field? And that seems to be answered, right? You can carry a flag, an American flag out on the field.
I'll have for years and years.
Yeah.
Scattered, back for several years. There's pictures of a lot of it. And if Misha were to make a rule like that, we're Misha. The school districts are Misha. We'd have to vote on it.
Right.
And maybe there's a state in the union that would vote yes on that, but I can't imagine Missouri ever being in a position where the schools would vote to agree to something like that.
And I think the uproar that happened immediately kind of shows that this is something near and dear to at least Missourians of, we want to see the American flag. If you want to carry it out on the field, you should be able to carry that out on the field.
Sure.
So it's just, I guess it's tough that when you get thrown in the middle of that you have to deal with all that and stuff like that. Makes it kind of tough.
Well, we'd much rather have it that way than have a kid being pounced on.
Yeah.
If people just need something to be loud about, they can be loud about me.
Right.
That's fine. But I don't think our athletes or our parents think that there's anybody in our school district with that kind of mentality.
Right.
That would be a rogue mentality.
Yeah,
to go making rules like that. But I'll keep pushing kids when they're wearing their Laker uniforms. They represent more than themselves. Absolutely. That's something that we think is big, and we talked about it ahead of time, when kids doing something with their jerseys on. But I think that's a great opportunity for people to show their patriotism and show how they want small town Camdenton to continue being that way. And then, if it's loud and distracting from the kids, hopefully that's the kind of thing that'll die down and let it be about the kids.
There you go. Activities Director at Camdenton High School, Billy Kurtz. Dr. Billy, thank you for coming by, sir. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.